Thank you. Good afternoon. We are going to have the safer internet topic be discussed here. So one of the things I had to give a general introduction. So therefore, I will a little bit talk about the safer internet. For instance, about a few years back, when I stepped down as the president of Internet Society, I felt it was a great need that in Sri Lanka this topic would be discussed. The reason behind that is, now when we, I think the police is also here, for the last few years, what I know is that there were greater incidents of Facebook issues that had come up. And at one point I remember it became a political issue also. And I thought that the Facebook would be banned in Sri Lanka, but fortunately it didn't happen. But subsequently, people have come to accept that there are issues. So we thought the basic thing should be to make people aware. And especially we have a cultural issue also in Sri Lanka. The culture in the sense, we have when it comes to ladies, of course there is a particular, there are certain taboos. And there were people who were exploiting the internet to take the points across. I'm not going to. We can talk about subsequently. So what we felt was that we should discuss these matters, and especially the girls. And I have a daughter also. So to make sure that our culture also will be protected as well as that their reputation, some of their reputations also protected on the internet. So it's a major thing is the awareness. So we thought the awareness is one issue, one of the major issues that we should tackle. And also our children, how would they? I remember a few years back, I think TRC, came up with this idea of the content management per se, right? I think still that Gowri told me that it's still on the cards. So anyway, I told her you had to be very careful when we talk about the content management. Also I would call it content management here because I should not say that, but I think it's a filtering. So how would we do filtering mechanism? So all these things are there. So these are very sensitive issues in Sri Lanka. So safer internet is a very important, I think, as far as this. It's a timely issue that we should discuss. මම හිතන්නේ අන්තර්ජාලය භාවිතා කරන්නන්ට මේක ඉතාම වැදගත් දෙයක් වෙනවා. මොකද ලංකාවේ සංස්කෘතිය සහ මට මතකයි මම අන්තර්ජාලය the president විදිහට මම කීප විටක් මට හම්බුණා අනික් රටවල, ඒ කියන්නේ අපේ මේ ආසියාතිකර ඒ වගේම සාක් රටවල් වල සමග සාකච්ඡා කරන්න. ඒ සාකච්ඡාවලදී තිබිච්ච ප්‍රතිචාරයක් තමයි දැන් හැමෝම කිව්වා මේක ඊටාම වැදගත් කියලා අපේ මේ රටවල. මොකද අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගත්තාම යම්කිසි Facebook issue එකක් හරි Google issue එකක් හරි ඒ වගේ issue එකක් ආපුවාම අපි සමහරක් වෙලට පොලිසියට කියනවා, ඊට පස්සේ SLCERT එකට යනවා. අපි Facebook එකට කිව්වහම ඒගොල්ලෝ සමහරක් වෙලාවට කියනවා අපිට ට්‍රාන්ස්ලේටර්ස්ලා නැහැ, අපි දන්නේ නැහැ මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා. මොකද සමහරකට ඒක සිංහලෙන් තියෙන්නේ. අන්නේ ඉෂුස් වලදී කොහොමද අපි මේ ප්‍රතිචාර දක්වන්නේ කියන ලොකු ඉෂුව එකක් වෙලා තිබුණා. ඒ නිසා හැමෝම කිව්වේ මොකද්ද මේ සංස්කෘතිය හා සම්බන්ධ මේ රටවල යම්සි එකකතාවයකට පැමිණිය යුතුයි, අපි මොකක් හරි වැඩපිළිවෙලක් තිබිය යුතුයි කියලා. ඒ නිසා මේ සේෆර් ඉන්ටර්නෙට් කියන එක මම වැඩි ඉලැබරේට් කරන්න මම හිතන්නේ අපේ පැනල් එකේ පැනල් මෙම්බර්ස්ලා ඉන්නවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ එක එක අය ඕන් මම හිතන්නේ ඒ පිළිබඳව සාකච්ඡා කරાવી. ඒ නිසා මම ආරාධනා කරනවා I invite Poornima to make a presentation on respect to girls. And this is very, we are time intensive here. So we'll give 5 minutes for everybody. And we will have more from the audience, right? So we'll try to make sure that the 5 minutes for all, for every panel member. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank you, ISOC and IGF, for giving us this opportunity to present our project. So I would like to ask you a question. Have you or someone you know have been ever harassed online? Okay, I have. And I have to tell this, it was not someone I didn't know. It was a friend of mine. And I was lucky to get the right advice and support to get through this. Believe me, it's not easy to go through something like that, especially when it's someone close to you. So that's why I started this Respect Girls on Internet initiative to support girls who go through similar problems. And there's another thing, we all think that it's boys who harass girls online, but it's not just boys, because even girls harass girls too. Girl-on-girl hate have become a huge problem these days in the world. So that's why it's very important. And there are, when youth face these kind of situations, they go to social withdrawal, long-time psychological effects, and not only that, even self-harm. And that's why we need to look at this issue and support them so they don't go into things like self-harm. And I know there are laws to get action against these kind of issues, but I believe that laws alone cannot stop it. So through this project, we wanted to find solutions to this problem through empathy and technology. So, and what we wanted to do is prevent the problem before it happens, create awareness and create empathy among youth to not to do things like this. So for the Respect Girls Internet project, we were funded by ISOC community grants. And in the project, we did many things to create awareness and support. So one thing is we produce short films. We produce short films to create empathy. And also graphics and memes we share through social networks to make people think about cyber harassment. And also we created a cyber privacy handbook which educates youth how to stay safe on internet, and a community that supports people who go through this issue. And also there is a mobile app that you can check how you are a cyber bully or a cyber saint, how far your cyber goodness goes. So those are the things we did through our project. And for the future, the problem grows with the growth of internet. We have now mobile technology, and it only increases this issue, and youth are the most vulnerable group because of this issue. So for the future, through our project, we want to expand on our experiences and build more support networks so that girls can be safe and use internet without fear. Thank you. Any questions?
Or shall we go to the next panel?
I have a question about this cyber bully ranking, or whatever that you call. You have an app?
Yeah, it's
no, cyber goodness ranking.
Yeah, it's a cyber goodness app. We basically ask few questions about the things you have done online, and you have to give 3 answers. It's a multiple choice app.
So the user himself has to take that and then get the ranking.
Yeah, so if you play that, we ask you questions through the app, and according to the answers you give, it says how much is your cyber goodness. It's online now, you can go check it.
Can I also ask a question?
Yeah.
How do you think that people truly tell you what they have done?
We don't get information through the app. It's for the user, they can go and check for themselves how good they are on internet. So if they are true to the app, then we don't get any information through the app.
Private app.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can we have Dr. Menaka Ranasinghe to present online privacy? Thank you, Poornima.
Thank you, Harsha. Good afternoon. So I was given the topic online privacy. When it comes to privacy, it's a very controversial issue because we think about the privacy into different degrees. When we are doing anything on the web, when we are online, we leave our digital footprints so that we are being tracked and all our activities are being monitored most of the time. So when it comes to there is passive digital footprints as well as active digital footprints. In passive digital footprints, our IP addresses, when and where we are logged in and so on, that data is being collected. But in the active one, we purposely or deliberately put our information on social media or on by filling web forms or so on. So we have to very carefully monitor what we are doing. So the privacy comes with responsibility, because we have, I think in our cultural background, we have a very tremendous cultural background that we have to protect. So when openness comes, and we have to maintain our privacy in a very responsible manner. Apart from that, I mean, for an example, if you upload a photograph to Facebook, then you can decide how you are going to do it, whether you are going to be publicly appear in that, or you are going to have some restrictions and so on. So we have to be aware about how we are being monitored and how we can protect ourselves. So if you download the online Mozilla add-on collusion, where you can see that how the third parties are being tracking your online activities. So it is a free app where you can download it, and the graph shows you how the other third-party trackings are being done. So apart from that, I think we need to have a good policy regarding how we are going to maintain the privacy. When it comes to if someone is going to do an unlawful, unethical thing, then the government is above us and they can take court orders. I think the police, they will be knowing much better than me. So how they can monitor it and how they can invade our privacy and so on. So in that respect, we need to have good policies, and it has to be an active policy, because from time to time the changes and so on. Again, when we talk about the privacy, I think now we are more and more moving into Google Apps and cloud-based servers and so on like that. The cases of Snowden and what has happened, and the Skype, when the Microsoft purchased that, how they assured about the privacy and maintenance of the security and so on. But what is happening when with the NSA is acquiring the decryptions and all so on, so they are getting the all information, and even at the universities we are going to Google Gmail and so on. So these servers and so on are on the I mean under the US laws, and how our information are being penetrated and how vulnerable they are. So as a country, we have to think about all these things, as well as we need to have a policy which is very dynamic and things like that. So in other case, if you want to maintain your privacy by having lot of material and things like that, whether the other plagiarisms and so on going to take place, so that can be protected to some extent by having these Creative Commons licenses, where your intellectual property rights can be maintained. With regard to your, it's some sort of a privacy, I think, because it's your own intellectual knowledge that is being invaded. So again, I think the privacy has to be looked at in not as a single thing that we need to open up everything and do the things, but with the openness comes the responsibility, and how we are managing it, as well as the technological know-how, how we can safeguard ourselves. So I think that we have to think about when we come to privacy, because malware, spyware, these cookies and everything are in operation. Because this selling of our data has become a very economical factor for the markets, because these data are being sold to third-party organizations for various issues. So I think with that, we have to think about the privacy in a very positive and a constructive way, how we can improve on it. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Any questions, please?
In case somebody has disturbed our privacy on internet, like then we may have to complain it to the police. Do the police accept our complaint without just having facts that to show?
What's for me?
Yeah,
Regarding the privacy, I think our penal code remove this the defamation chapter from the penal code. It's a civil matter. You can make a complaint at the police station and take the extract of this, and you can file a case, private case. You can file a private case.
Any other questions, please? I think there are more questions. I know that there are more questions. Go ahead.
So without that, we cannot install most of the apps, Google apps. Yeah, so those are free apps. Yeah, I guess, yeah. So what we can do?
So the question is that.
Yeah. So how can how how we can make sure that so they don't steal or.
Yeah, Dr. Ranasinghe.
I think yesterday when I was going through the internet to read about these things, I came across a good quote. If the product is free, the product is you. So that means nothing comes free. You have to have some sort of a value into economical value built into that. So by having a free app, you are giving your data, personal data, to some party as their income or some sort of revenue for them. So that is a good thing. So, but at the same time, we are bound to do these things. There is no way out like. So, I mean, another thing that I would like to press is that stress about we never read about the agreements. We just click on it, we agree. So we don't know, from time to time they tend to change the agreements, but we never read. And when we always go for syncing. So whether it is wanted or unwanted, we happen to do that. So those things we have to think. And another good initiative is, why don't we develop our own cultural things, our own products, where we are not giving data to third-party countries in other societies. So we have the school leavers and so on. A lot of people are there who are into this mobile app developments and other things. But I think there is, at the moment, no correct initiative and an organization in doing that, rather than they are just uploading the mobile apps that they have developed. It's not in one person.
I think SLCERT is also here. I think we should. A
question for you actually. So, by considering the Sri Lankan youth and actually the youth, so do you think privacy is an issue for them? Because it is normally we have been seeing that this privacy is an issue for older generation. So we with the content that they are putting in the Facebook, Twitter, and all the other places, even they are putting in the Facebook, there's a place to what is in your mind, and they are putting they're keep changing thing, what is in your mind. Next day also they are keeping changing. So do you think that privacy is an issue for younger generation?
I think it is a issue because even the kids may do things like that, but later on it is like a digital tattoo. Because we leave, it's going to be some sort of footprint, that it is a digital tattoo where it is either going to be bad or good. So in future, sometimes there may be situations where they regret. So sometimes they may be doing the things at this moment without thinking much because of their age and all, without having that much of knowledge what the consequences are going to be. So with that, if I think still that is a issue, the privacy is an issue, even though they happen to, okay, I go to this place, I ate this at this place, and have posting photographs. But with photographs, how many incidents that have happened, and how many suicide cases have been reported due to Facebook things and, altering and all so on. So I think it's an issue.
Can I ask you one? Sure. I think it's a. If you compare with the West, and I think the West, the privacy is taken very highly. Are the Sri Lankan youth, do they really worry about that much like the Westerners? I don't know whether it's unawareness or so. That's one of the questions.
So I want to highlight. So because of the unawareness, so they are putting whole lot of content in the Facebook, Twitter, and all these places. That is like, as you correctly said, the end of the day, again, the affected party will be them. So that is true.
That's why I think we need to have a proper way without barring them using these technologies. They have to use these technologies to be in par with the world. But we have to make them aware about how the things can happen and how we can monitor and safeguard themselves.
I also asked TRC to have some comment, because I know you had been working on this for a long time, so it's better that I...
I think what people like, especially the young people, like maybe the culture doesn't allow us to express ourselves, so they go online and then they express themselves. That is where then, but they don't know where are the limits. Now, in normal circumstances, they will not be able to do it, but online they will do anything. So they don't know the rules, how you have to behave when you're online. So that awareness has to come from maybe grade 1, that the children should know what you can't do normally, you can't do the same thing online.
I also like to add this, because my experiences, I think, I've been doing this for now since 98, I think, I'm doing forensics in Sri Lanka. I get, for the last few years, at least once a week I get a case. And these are very unfortunate cases. And sometimes a girlfriend coming and saying the boyfriend is doing this. And sometimes there may be pictures. And sometimes there's one girl came and told me, it's a very sad story actually. Because the parents didn't like, I don't want to go with the boy. And I broke up, but now the boy is actually harassing me on the internet. Then I asked, but there are pictures. So I said, how did you get the pictures? Then she said, I gave the pictures. So I said, Dua, oka මං හිතන්නේ මෙතන පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙලා තිනවා ඔයාට තේරෙන්නේ නැති වුණාට මම හිතන්නේ මීට පස්සේ මම ඒකට උදව් කරන්නම් මම මීට පස්සේ ඔයා මේක කරන්න එපා and that is she's only 19 years of age, so she's 19 but she didn't know what she was doing. And there's another case I'll tell you. There was a case came to me and said there are some pictures, and I said some pictures had gone, while I got a call while I was having a shower. So I didn't know whether somehow these pictures had appeared. So I because the phone has either side is would have turned. So I said, but this person is an adult. So I was little bit. I said, I don't know whether how you got that done, but anyway, so you should be aware how to use the phone then properly, right? So I said, So those are the issues I'm telling you. In Sri Lanka, what we get, I get once a week a case. Once a week, somebody calls me up. And this is the saddest part. Now I have to do the present, so So I will just basically in 2 minutes, I will tell you a little bit about digital forensic that we have been doing. As you know, University of Colombo School of Computing, we were called earlier Institute of Computer Technology, and Professor Menaka was the one who founded the both. And at that time, a few places where this is about somewhere in 96 that I got in, or 96, 97, 98. During that period of time, that we had a very little places to go. I think the police didn't have where to go. I think they came to us. So we were also learning. And some of the earliest ones that we did was, as a digital forensic, was extraction of data. I think all of you know that the data, like when you store some data on a hard drive, I think one of the issues is that how to get the data out, right? Because the first thing you would do. So those are the first things that we did. Another one was tracking the people on the internet. Those days, a lot of people didn't realize that they were tracked on the internet, in the sense that you can track. I remember one of the cases like that was, earliest one I remember was, I think I would say Minister Mangala Samarivira's credit card issue. So that's one of the very first one, where I think if you don't know the case, I think it's a very interesting look up, right? Where the credit card which was given by the Sri Lanka Telecom, I believe, and that was used by someone else to browse the internet, and then subsequently the minister was blamed. And it turned out to be that the credit card number was in the papers. That's how the people went and put the credit card number. So they didn't know how to track this. So we were asked to do so, and so I had to do it. So that was the very first, some of the cases we did. Then there were a few others subsequently like that. We got into digital forensic, and I think UCSC is now one of the major institutions that carry out digital forensic in Sri Lanka today. But one of the things that we had to develop some of them locally. We had to learn. And today we have PhDs even in the security area at the UCSC. But anyway, subsequently now the police has the capabilities. I think the CID, the ICTA, and with the SLCERT gave a CID the infrastructure, and SLCERT has come. University of Moragoda is doing, TechCERT is there. So all of them are now in the digital forensic area. So basically what I want to tell you is, but there are very interesting cases. I don't have the time to tell you some of the cases what we had done. But those, some of them are also confidential. I can't talk about it. But anyway, one of the things I see right now is, we have now developed the technology we have, but we need certain like a guidelines. The police should be given I think they are also working with the European Union, for instance. They are working on right now developing guidelines, how to collect the data, how they keep the data, how they extract, and how they present in a court of law. So these are the issues that I just want to talk about. I think we'll talk about later comprehensively. You can ask some questions regarding the digital forensic. Thank you. Are there any questions? And then I'll announce the next speaker. Yeah, go ahead.
මම හිතන්නේ මේක මේ ඉස්සෙල් එකට සම්බන්ධ ඉස්සෙල්ලා සෙෂන් එකට මම කියවන්න ලැබුණා මේ දැන් අර අලුත් Android මේ මෙහියුම් පද්ධතිය මාස්මිලෝ එකේ තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ අර apps වල එක්කම මේ අර ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ permission අපිට ෆිල්ටර් කරන්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රමයක්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කැමති නම් මේවා කරන්න නැත්නම් අයින් කරන්න පුළුවන් විදිහක්. ඊළඟට දැන් අර SLA මොකක්ද මේ service level agreements ගැන කිව්වොත් ඒවා දැන් අර හුඟක් දිග හින්දා අර කෙනෙකුට කියවන්න ඒ කියන්නේ practically අමාරුයි. දැන් Microsoft operating system එකක් බලන්න install කරද්දී එන මේක ඉතින් dictionary එකක් වගේ නිකන් අර මහ බැංකුවේ වාර්ෂික වාර්තාව වගේ එනවනේ. එතකොට මේක අර practically කෙනෙකුට කියවන්න අමාරුයි. ඒකද පොඩ්ඩක් concise විදිහට ඒ වගේ approach එකක් තියෙනවා නම් හොඳයි කියලා.
I think SLCERT, and I think anybody from here, You say?
I'll just give my thoughts on that. I think all these agreements are too long, and you have no option. If you go for Microsoft, you have to click yes, whether you read it or not. That is the practical thing. But when you choose apps, I think, you can go and see, where you can get less number of where you have to put your ticks and see what are the information you want. Otherwise, you make the decision, no, I don't want this app because all my information is going to go. You live without it, and maybe you find something else. Yeah, I think that is a practical solution in that sense.
ඒකටම තව පොඩ්ඩක් එකතු කරනවා නම් ඉස්සෙල්ලා ප්‍රයිවසි එකත් එක්කලා අපිට හම්බෙන ඕනම ෆ්‍රී ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක එයාට හම්බෙන දේ වෙන්න පුළුවන් අපේ පුද්ගලික තොරතුරු. නමුත් ඒවා terms and conditions වල අපිට කියවලා ලොකු අදහසක් ගන්න පුළුවන් මේ අය මොකද්ද මේක අරන් කරන්නේ කියලා. ඒක අපි පිටරටකට ලොකුවට අනිත් මයික්‍රොසොෆ්ට් එකට හරි වෙන ඒවා ගැන කතා කරන්න කලින් අපි සරලව හිතුවොත් එහෙම අපි සුපර් මාකට් එකකට ගිහලා මොන හරි භාණ්ඩ ටිකක් මිලදී ගත්තොත් එයා කියන්න පුළුවන් ඔයාට රැෆල් එකකට ජොයින් වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඔයාගේ මොබයිල් නම්බර් එක දෙන්න කියලා. එහෙනම් එයා මගේ මොබයිල් නම්බර් එක ගන්නේ රැෆල් එකට දින්නොත් මට කියන්න විතරයි. නමුත් ඊට පස්සේ ඒ සුපර් මාකට් එකෙම මට SMS එකක් එන්න පුළුවන් අපේ ඊළඟ මාසේ තියෙන ප්‍රොමෝෂන් ගැන අර මේ කියලා. එතකොට අපි මේ ඒ පිටරටවල දෙන ආයතන ගැන ලොකුවට කම්ප්ලේන්ට් කරන්න කලින් ලංකාවේ ඇතුලේ අපේ තියෙන ඔය ඉෂුස් ටික විසඳ ගන්න පුළුවන්. කියන්නේ අපේ යට තියෙනවා නම් නෙන් ඉල්ලන්නේ රැෆල් එක දින්නොත් මට කතා කරන්න විතරයි. එහෙම නැතුව ඊට පස්සේ ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස්මන්ට් එවන්නයි අර හැම එකටම පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැතුව ඉන්නවා නම් ඒක අපිට හදා ගන්න පුළුවන් දේවල්. ඒකෙන් අපිට අවශ්‍ය ප්‍රයෝජන ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන් අනවශ්‍ය කරදර වලට එන්නේ නැතුව.
security policy එකක් information privacy policy එක.
privacy policy එක. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි අර කියවන්න බැරි ලොකු terms කියවනට වඩා සරලයි.
මම හිතන්නේ කළ යුතු දෙයක් විදිහට මම දකින්නේ.
Following up on that, right, I mean, that is the two bits of information privacy that I like is my email address and my SMS number not to be used by other people to market to me. In the US, there is something called do not call list, right? And if you register your mobile number or your phone number with the do not call list, then if anybody does, then you can sue them, saying that you have invaded my privacy. And the people who market are obliged to check to see whether your number is listed on that do not call list before they can send you SMSs or emails. So is there something like that for Sri Lanka, or shouldn't we develop something like that for Sri Lanka?
We should, but anyway, go ahead. Before that, can I ask you one question, Dr. Kavan, if you don't mind? I think you were in the States for a long time. Now, in America, the privacy is taken the same question I want to ask, what I ask.
Right.
Now, in Sri Lanka, I have a feeling that the people don't know what privacy and because we are more open.
Yes.
And than the Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So the Americans, even from a childhood, knows what is sort of like what is confidential, what is the private. And ours, I think we don't tell our children what the privacy is. So can I comment on that? And if you don't mind, I think that's...
Yeah, I think it's also the number of years, right? I mean, people who are on the internet in the US for about 10 years or 15 years long, 10 years. Yeah, I think that comes to unawareness. I think there is kids which are being taught in schools as to what they should not do and what privacy, the importance of privacy is taught in schools as much more than what is taught in Sri Lanka. And I think that awareness program needs to be improved. I think it is being improved a bit from what it was before, but I don't think it's good enough. And where to go? I mean, there is a CID place which is there, but I mean, how many of the public are aware that there is a location where they can complain to is the question. Whereas in the US, I think there is much more awareness as to who we can call for this information.
It's true. I think that we have to make the awareness. But I feel this comes from the cultural. We are much more of a open. And because we are in extended families, but in there actually they are lesser that, and it's a very so that we have to tell our children what to tell the outsiders, Whereas in those countries, you don't have to. I mean, to some extent, they know what it is. I think that's also part of the awareness. So anyway, SLCERT.
I think that is the earlier one on telephone numbers where they just get it and then started send marketing stuff. I think we are also working on it for unsolicited, because we don't have a law, but then we want to have some kind of a framework where we have a certain set of rules relating to unsolicited messages, where on default, you cannot send the messages, but if the person say yes, then the messages can be sent to the person. And also that option for you to unsubscribe if you don't want the messages to be sent. That's we are working on it, but we haven't still come out with the framework.
Can I add something now on the internet, especially not about calls? We get a lot of unsolicited emails from maybe collected via honeypot, so I don't know where they get it from. So every day, how many? I probably be getting 10 emails from e-marketers. Is there any policy on controlling that?
No, we don't have a policy. But I think most of the operators also provide certain software where you can block some of those unwanted messages. But even email, Yahoo, all these email providers also give that facility.
Yeah.
Just to follow up on that particular topic. When it comes to email, anyone can send an email and we all get spams and there's no control. But particularly in Sri Lanka, the mobile providers, like the popular providers, when I sign up with them, I give them the authority to have a limited information of myself, which I would use only for the telecommunication purpose. But there are incidents, there are cases where we get messages from businesses which we don't even register or sign up. Like for example, recently I was on Dialog. Let's be open about it. There's nothing to hide here. I was on Dialog network and I got an SMS from SoftLogic. I've never signed up for SoftLogic, and that name is identified as SoftLogic. It's not coming from a number, so that can't happen without the support of the provider. And this is not the only case. This happens often, and by some extended research, I identified that's very expensive as well. So it's not cheap. If you ask a provider that I'm going to do bulk messaging, they would say no.
What is
so is there any policy from the government that stops networks from misusing their customer base into helping companies market themselves for a price, for a big price?
I think Gowri is the best person to answer, I guess. I think you are talking about this, right? The policy, I guess.
I'll just give you a thing. Actually, we don't have data protection laws and how the data should be kept and the databases, how they can give out the information. So I think ICTA is working on that. Maybe in the future we'll be getting data protection laws, so your data will be protected.
Okay, so shall we go to the next presenter, please, if you don't mind? That is Sachini. You are going to present about Hittivati. Is there a question? There is a one only, yeah?
Yeah, just one. Regarding the previous presentation, so regardless of the technique or laws, the harassments happen. So my question was, if something happens, what are the action we should seek? What are the laws we have, and what are the procedures we have to take when something harassment or something happens?
We have enough provisions, and you can complain any police stations based on the nature of the matter and the value of the matter. I have to explain what is the nature and what is the value. Nature means if there is a complaint regarding against some pedophile or pornography, or is regarding the harassment of ladies, you can go to the Women and Child Bureau in any police stations. And no, you can come to Nugegoda head office, is also Women and Child Bureau head office. it's a minor complaints like cyber harassment, like small complaints you can make complaint in any police stations. And if there is a value involved in of this complaint, from 1 rupees to 5 lakhs, you can make a complaint at local police station. 5 to 500,000 to 5 million, you have to go DCDB, called district unit. It's called DCDB. You can make a complaint there. And above 5 million, you have to come to CID. And also in Colombo, you can between 500,000 and 5 million, you can come to Galappaththige Fort Bureau and you can have a complaint there. And also, we have online complaint mechanism. There are two centers in our website. You can directly come to www.police.lk. You can make a complaint to TelIGP. TelIGP means you can make any complaint, not only the cyber crime. Any complaint you can make at the TelIGP. And also we have one link, cyber crime. It's also at www.police.lk. It's an online complaint center. You can have a complaint there. It's monitored by my division, Police IT division, and we investigate on this complaint. And if we want to get the normal mutual settlements, we ask both parties to come to our office, and we will have a solution for this. If there is you need to legal proceedings, then we send these to local police stations to make legal proceedings.
Yeah, Sachini, go ahead.
That's a question.
If you make complaint online, you just receive an email with token. Then you can monitor this token, using this token from the online, your complaint, what's the status of this complaint. But the problem is, the finding the accused, finding the perpetrator is a very big issue. We have to discuss it. We had several discussions with TRC also to find out this person. I will come with my presentation, the problem.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Okay. Good afternoon. I guess you know what's out there regarding this cyber harassments on ladies. I'm Sachini. This is a Internet Society Sri Lanka chapter project. And today I'm just going to tell what's Hitavati, just an introduction. It's called Hitavati in Sinhala. You are confident, and Nanbi. I don't know whether it's correct. Just correct me that whether it's Tamil word is correct. And this is kind of a, we'd say she, a female version. It's I would say why I select this kind of a feminine name there, because we prefer to like when we have a problem, we just feel more comfortable to tell that to a lady that we are more familiar with, rather than talk to a male person. So that's why Hitavati is kind of she, and she is a supporter, a listener, and a guide and a helper. And what she does, actually she cares internet users, especially young girls, ladies, teenagers and minors. That doesn't mean we don't care males. That's not there. You can complain, you can get information, you can get knowledge, you can get educated through Hitavati to anybody, but especially we do care the ladies. And actually what she does, she assists to recognize these harassing incidents and prevent those things, and she guides you. During the past 18 months, kind of, she got, she means Hitavati here, she got several complaints, and out of that, there are few statistics, and if we have kind of a gender-wise, there are most are female, the complaints are based on females. Sometimes the ladies, they are not, ladies itself, they are not willing to call and make a complaint. So their husband or boyfriend just call us, my girlfriend has this thing on Facebook, please help her, what I do, something like that. Then I had this this graph regarding what kind of what types of harassments are there. As you see, most are Facebook. ගොඩක් කියන්නේ Facebook ඒවා. Facebook profile change කරලා නැත්නම් photos දාලා ඒ වගේ. Then the others are email, and some are there like their phone numbers are get released and they are getting calls. Openly said මේ ඔයා දෙනවද මෙහෙට අද රැට, something like that. එහෙම. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ වහලා එයාලට calls එනවා, මේ ඔයාගේ number එක තිබ්බා මෙහෙ, මේ මට මම ඔයාලට call කරනවා එන්න පුළුවන්ද වගේ දේවල්. ඉතින් ඒවා කවුරුත් ගෑනු ළමයිට දරා ගන්නත් බෑ. පිළිම කට්ටියට එයාලගේ ළඟපාත කට්ටියට දරා ගන්නත් බෑ. ඒ වගේ problems උත් මෙතනට එනවා. Then how she, like, you can visit her at hitavati.lk. Actually, we started as a blog. Now we are on .lk website. You can go and see what are the information there. You can see website articles, and we got some extracts from Sri Lanka, the newspapers in Sri Lanka, Sinhala newspapers. Basically, the website is running on Sinhala and English, both. Most content are in Sinhala, and we have uploaded some videos done by TechCERT and other news websites and all. You can get contact through email, telephone, and we have some links there to lodge an online complaint to the police. As they say, as Mr. Hettiarchi said, that I have earlier I have put the link to TelIGP. Now we can link to the cybercrime, this link on this Hitavati website. Those are the articles there. And what Hitavati project is looking for is just to get, because we are getting many complaints on Facebook, but we can't help them as soon as possible, because most of the time we don't get response from Facebook, because we place the complaint, we report them, we tell the victims to report this way and that way, but we don't get the response from Facebook. So we have this problem, and we need more awareness from media, and also we are planning to have a chat facility to this Hitavati project, and these are small flashes what she did earlier. Some we have done training projects at St. Joseph's College and Girula Zonal School IT Day. And thank you very much, and also thanks to Internet Society Sri Lanka chapter, CERTs, TechCERT and SLCERT both, and Sri Lanka Police, LK Domain Registry, and all the newspapers, websites which we got information. Thank you.
Any questions, please, for Sachini? Kavan, yeah.
I'm curious to know how many people are involved in answering these questions. How many people are physically involved with doing this? Is a single person, two people
say no because Sagaraka was always with me, and basically both of us doing the very best part, because we actually we do this interface as Hitavati, the feminine version, so a lady should talk, but we get the help from TechCERT earlier, because I was based in LK Domain Registry, so we got help from TechCERT most of the time.
The victim. If not, what we do is within the Open University Sri Lanka, we get the legal from the legal department. We get the help from the few set of lawyers. If we cannot handle that, if the police cannot handle that, because some people are not willing to go to the police. So what we do is we will give this. There are female lecturers, 5 or 6 lecturers. They are willing to help those victims. We will direct them to that ladies. So they will handle later on that part.
How about the sustainability of such a program? I mean, the prime objective of a lecturer is not to help a call-in service, but that might be a good initiative as a project, but if it is going to be on the long run.
I think just basically lecturers come and help you, but not the. But this is a.
No.
First, we will talk to them and we ask. There are 5 ladies. What we do is we call them and we email them frequently. So whenever we get the problem, we will email them. Like it will be going to them. If it is necessary only, we will directly talk to them and guide them to take further actions.
And organizations like Sumitrayo or these other, earlier versions of
so far
women in help organizations, they are not involved in this?
No, so far we don't get any help from them. Basically, this is like inter-university connective project. Because at the moment we are trying to get the help from the university employees like lecturers and academia and the other people.
But at the same time, there are organizations. Now there is a Center for Women's Research is doing a research on the policy as to how I'm also involved in it. In addition to that, the Ministry of Women's Affairs, they also have also created a hotline. I'm not sure how far they have gone, but anyway, I was involved for a short period of time advising them. In the future, I think there will be more. But I don't know whether anybody else aware. I think, sustainability of this project, of course, is now a LK domain registry funded project, or is it how do you?
ISOC LK project.
ISOC funded, yeah.
Actually, it's not funded.
It's not funded. It's purely volunteer basis.
Yes, it's totally voluntary.
It's totally volunteer basis.
I think we have to sit down the next time.
Yeah, we don't have any funding.
Yeah, I think we have to find a way of doing it. I think very relevant right now, because I think we had to find some how to proceed further. I think
because we were trying to get help from the Child Protection Bureau and the Women and Child Affairs Ministry. Still, we couldn't get the better negotiation with them to help us on that particular issue.
I think what we will do is the next time I will bring you into those discussions.
That's good to know.
Okay.
Thank you.
One of the ground level problem is like we don't have a separate telephone number there, actually a hotline. We are using the LK Domain Registry's general line, and the email address is which I'm just looking at, and that's why the calls and the complaints directly get into basically me, and then I try to figure it out. Then if there's something to be added, then I talk to Sagarika, then we'll find, then that's how we're moving on.
The other problem is when myself and Sachini's problems are exports, then we will get harassed. That is the other problem. So numbers to the general public, so that's why we are looking for the direct telephone number rather than giving our own telephone numbers.
And also I think it's very important that a parent or a class teacher is made aware of these issues, because they might come in direct contact with the children. So like for them to not to share their telephone number with just anybody whom they bump into on the street. So that is, or a photo for that matter. I think in that case the parents and the school teachers have very important say in that. I wonder whether there are any newspaper articles or TV programs of raising general awareness.
Not enough. I think not enough. I think, yeah.
Yeah, if I am to add something into that, I mean, maybe the university lecturers are helping out in a voluntary basis, because one thing I have noticed is when we are acting as student counselors in the university, I mean, even sometimes not the females only, even the males comes and tell their very private things when you have a trust on them. I mean, when they happen to see that you are a trustworthy person with whom you can talk with these things, and that is in general everywhere it is there. So, but with the image that they are having and so on, so that I mean, even though in a voluntary basis, we can do a lot to the society. I think even though with our busy schedules, we are always happy to do that kind of things, not to our own community who are in our universities, but to somebody else also. And they tend to, with our culture and all, they tend to accept those things in a very positive manner. And another thing I want to add is that in school children, because I know when my son, where my son is going, they are conducting a program called Sound Mind, Sound Body. So which tells, I mean, it's a very, very active program where it tells how a bad touch, good touch, and the things, as Ms. Gowri told, that the things that you can't do in the society, that you can't do it in the internet also. So they teach about those things at a very small age. Year 3, right? They started that program. That's a good initiative. If the other schools also can adopt that kind of a thing, with the time the students will get to know about these kind of privacy activities.
By the way, tomorrow is the Internet Safe, the Safe Internet Day, SID. And there are 100 countries, there are programs. What I was told was you can go to the Internet Safe Day, Safer Day, Safer Internet Day, SID, tomorrow. And ICDL is doing in Sri Lankan programs that we are not doing this time, I guess. ISOC is not doing. So anyway, I just want to mention that tomorrow is a Safe Internet Day. Yeah.
I have one question. Now, since you came up with this Safe Internet Day, I just want to mention today is Women's Day. So it's very, very valid, we are discussing these issues. I look at this Hitavati on a different angle. Now, the intention is good, but what is the legal authority or legal validity of anybody coming up with such a website and collecting information? That is again, collecting victims' information, which can be very sensitive. So, any legal binding authority regulation on that?
Anyway, Gowri is the best person, I think, as a lawyer, I guess, yeah.
I think on those now here also they get data, and if they are a sort of registered NGO or something like that having certain objectives, then they can be protected. But other than that, if they do it on voluntary, someone might even take it up that you cannot do it. So that can be a problem for them, because you're collecting information because they don't have a legal standing on what they're doing.
We go to the next one. I think it's very relevant here about the police. I am also involved in some sort. Anyway, so let's hear from ASP.
Shall I add
yeah,
a bit? Actually, I don't have a legal this thing, but I get the information because they say, because I'm a listener. I listen. They're willing to give me information, so I collect them. But I mean, Hitavati, she has mentioned that she's not revealing those it is. She is faithfully anyway.
Yes. Yeah, I think one thing I think we should do is that we should get the Ministry of. Anyway, we will discuss it further. I think it's a very good forum to start on that. Yeah. Yeah, but I think when it comes to, I think there are legal issues also. I think now I start thinking very seriously about it, because someone can sue you, you individually. That's
individual. That's what I'm saying.
So that's,
because
I think,
we will get harassed sometimes.
Yeah, because the ISOC is not a.
What Subhash was saying was, now as a entity Hitavati, it is not under ISOC.lk domain. It is under an independent domain.
It's a different domain.
So it's a different domain. So if it is under ISOC.lk, then ISOC has to take the responsibility. But here there are legal implications of, say, if we are collecting Hitavati, I'm part of it, collecting information, it gets leaked from your end, then you are responsible. So there can be legal implications. So it's a very good point that we opened up.
Yeah, we started with ISOC.
It's a good point that we opened up, then we can take precautions.
The other legally sort of like a legal body per se, I mean, in terms of like the entity, legal entity which can be sued.
It's a society.
It's a society. So what will happen is that the members who are doing this will be sued individually. So there can be an issue legally. So I think we have to take it very seriously, Sagarika, and I think it's a very valid point.
Yes.
And I think we'll sit down and also we'll try to bring some legal as well as the help to help you out, because otherwise, because they are doing a good job, I think we should give a round of applause for them. Okay then. Let me introduce Hitavata. Good. Let me introduce ASP H.A. Damayanth, who is the acting head of the IT, I think, ICT of the police, right? He is the acting head of the IT unit or the department, right?
IT division.
Division of the police. Okay.
Good afternoon. First, I thank ISOC and Sachini and Professor Gihan Dias for giving this opportunity. I think today morning I met Srinimal. Srinimal told me that he has several questions to ask me. Let's start my topic like this. Internet is a road. Think. Internet is a road with no road rules, no license, no policies, nothing. I've in a vehicle like this situation, what's happened? Like, there is a knife. It's a selection of and also you can use the same knife to suicide you. It's the internet. I will tell two stories. I have because I use this forum to educate you how you prevent from the internet harassments. One first story. Facebook sites called, I will tell all names, some it's not some polite, but I have to tell, over 40. Facebook site, over 40. There are 20, more than 20 websites like Colombo Badu. Likewise, several websites. If somebody take your photo and publish in this website, I am over 40, I am like to sex with anybody, I will not charge more, likewise, then with your telephone number and your picture publish, what happened to you? There are more than 100 of calls coming to daily to this telephone number. It's called cyber harassment. How this perpetrator took this photo from your legal Facebook site. Then you suicide yourself using this knife. using the legal photo, they make it using Photoshops like nudes, and you publish it. I think we can't, you can't go to your society. I received a complaint regarding the smartphone. One university student, she's a medical student, from 3 years back, she just disconnect the SIM and forgot. Girl, but she nude from the web camera Thelma when she was 7 years old. Then she have to suicided as this incident. You have to see this. Amanda told the stories from this, and unfortunately we had a story. She also Amanda from because of this internet. Prevention is better than cure. Then I think you asked me, what is the response time? The problem is job. There is big issues before us. There is a big issue. They use that earlier story I said you, some lady, she received some telephone calls from, we can't identify this for telephone numbers. It's not registered telephone numbers from here. It's software generated telephone numbers. We can't identify the perpetrators. And also, some people are doing same things on the internet using fake IDs, fake accounts. Then when we ask the IP addresses, the ISPs, the providers, they do not keep the IP addresses who use this IP address at the particular time. And also, when we think about the internet cafe, they don't keep records. There is a problem. We have several problems. We can't find the people who is doing this. It's a big issue. It's not in ours. It's not in Sri Lanka, in everywhere. Last year, September, open at it. Then we have only the authority of preservation of data. If somebody requests from us to preserve the data, we can send a request to the ISPs to preserve the data. But preservation is not enough to identify the suspects. I think my 5 minutes is over. If you have questions, you can ask. I don't want to continue because I have several stories to tell you, but I don't want to continue.
Yeah, go ahead. Are there any questions? Yeah, Dr. Kaun.
So this issue of going to an internet cafe and using it is unsolvable unless every internet cafe records the national ID number, the person who is using the slot of time. But some other way, because you walk out of there, the internet cafe doesn't know who the person who walked in there and used the internet.
It is not binding rule here. We have to make rules and regulations for the cafes.
Can I answer something about this? During the LTT, the war, and they did bring to some extent, and all the internet cafes were told to record all the data, because there was an issue like this, like there were email coming from, we don't know the sources, and email originating from the cyber cafes, and that was there. Now I don't think it's been relaxed, very relaxed in fact. So other issue I want to actually, if I don't mind, I think this is a good thing that I think we should talk about. The TRC also has to get involved in this. There are two problems. One is right now because of the limited number of IP address, IP version 4, what has happened is now you have the ports combined with the IPs are given. So this is an issue because you have one single IP, but you also have to record the port also, right? So that's the one issue. The other one is these IP addresses are changing, and the ISPs they don't keep more than 3. But I think SLT keeps it long period of time, fixed lines. But the mobile operators, they don't keep that long. And I think we had a discussion those days. Yeah, because of the, so the problem here is that's another issue. The other issue is a very big issue, which I normally do. I didn't do my normal PowerPoint presentation. The other issue is the Gmail, almost all the public, the mail that we use right now, the addresses where they originate from. Unless that you use it from your local machine, if you use a local machine like Outlook or some other they will basically black out all that information. And then if you use WhatsApp, the next one, but bear in mind, I want to tell you, there are some cases we have solved using some other method. I'm not saying that you cannot solve, but there are ways and means that you can solve it. But anyway, so those are the issues right now. The investigators have. So the IP version 6 is a must now. And we have to make sure that any device that gets connected to the internet should be those tools that I'm talking about. It's fairly and the VPNs, and there are so many. So I don't want to go into that.
Normally we use trap. In cases we ask to come to, sextortion. There are several cases of sextortion. They asked boys asked girls to come with sex using some Facebook cases. We had a case at Vellavatta. We asked him to come to Vellavatta hotel and we arrested. He was arrested by us. The wonderful thing is he has only 100 rupees in his pocket to come for these to sleep with a nice lady, sleeping with one night, spending.
Like been seeing is like the evidence preservation. So in most of the cases, we have seen that like before it comes to us, so any digital forensic investigator, they have done a lot of things. They have contacted one of their friends, one of their brothers, and they have tampered most of the valuable information where we can get and prosecute. Also, I think police also has the same issue. Like before it comes to us, they have
they stop the Facebook account. Then we don't have information.
So they have done a lot of things by consulting some other parties who doesn't know actually how to handle digital forensic or how to preserve evidence. That was one of the other issues that I want to highlight.
What about the SLCERT?
That is one of the things, and also sometimes the people does not know where to go and make a complaint if they have an issue like that. And also sometimes whenever they see some kind of an incident like Facebook issue or whatever, they think in the media what they have seen is, okay, person whose pictures been published, they hang themselves or committed suicide. So this is what I'm going to do now. So I will not go and make a complaint to anybody because there is no way to sort it out. And I guess in that case, the Internet Society and the Internet Governance Forum, the governing bodies or whatever, they need to come up with a plan for all of those organizations to reveal some information in case of emergency. So for a simple example, he mentioned that Google, Yahoo, Hotmail, they never publish the email address whenever they, if I send you an email, you will not know from where I send the email, IP address. They will not give the original IP address which it was sent. Always they show the Gmail or Yahoo or the Hotmail server IP address. And in that case, why they have stopped it, stating that it's a private information. But if I'm sending you an email, if it is a correct thing, I should not be worried about it. So I should not worry about, say, whether they get my IP address, my email address. I should not be worried because I'm telling the correct thing. I'm connecting a person for a real reason. Like if I'm giving you a call, my phone number goes to you as a CLI. So I'm not worried because I'm calling the correct person. But in the same manner, if those operators can provide that IP address, then the people will know, okay, if I'm sending an email harassing somebody to other people, then I will get caught. So I will not send that. But all those operators, so-called privacy policy, they said it's a private info, so we will not reveal it. So I guess that is the point where we can stop lots of cases where people harassing, sending unwanted emails and things. You can stop it. If they know, they can track you. But now most of the people know that Gmail is the one who started initially barring that source IP address. So then people start using Gmail very much to send in that kind of harassing emails. So if they can provide that IP address, which already they have, so in that case, people will not do that. So most of the criminals, they will not have any email address to use, so they will stop that because they know they will get caught.
Can I also add to this? But there are tools where you can have trackers. You pay the tracker, they track the email. So there's like about $10 to $15 you pay, and then without you send an email, and whatever that comes into there, you also get tracked. So there are tools also they have come up with. So there is another business is going on also.
That is completely another business, I would say.
The total.
If they can provide the IP address and those details whenever I'm sending an email, like when I'm calling you, my number goes to you, so I don't mind. But my IP address goes, it's only a private info rather than the phone number and so on. So it's the same as for my understanding.
That is because of in the United States you have the First Amendment right, and that they use it. So they hide behind that. I would call this a cloaking. Anyway, so we are running out of time. So shall we, if you don't mind?
Okay.
So we will go to the next presenter. Subhoda, all right, Chan, yes. So why don't you make you have a presentation, right? Can you please, if you don't mind, on cyber security?
A very good afternoon to all of you. I'm Subhoda Charles. I'm here representing IEEE Sri Lanka section, IEEE, the Institute of Electronics and Electrical Engineers. So the topic seems a little bit off from what we have been discussing up to now, but since this is a very hot topic and an upcoming technology, I thought that I should shed some light on the security of the Internet of Things. So most of you might or might not have heard of the Internet of Things. The Internet of Things basically means connecting everyday devices to the Internet. And so up to now, we have our laptops, our mobile phones, our desktop PCs, everything connected to the Internet. But the things in the Internet of Things means anything, any day-to-day object ranging from baby monitors, thermostats, your car, or your office premises, the sensor network, everything, right? That is what things mean in the Internet of Things. So if you take the statistics, people predict that there will be 6.4 billion connected things in the world, like in the very near future. And every day, 5 million new devices are being added, right? So why do people add all these devices to the Internet? Why do people keep adding them? Because of several reasons. There are very good reasons for everyday devices to be connected to the Internet. Like for example, if you're driving in the Colombo traffic, you will be able to get the data from your other vehicles. You can, that functionality is of course already given by Google Maps. So you can go on the Google Maps and then check the traffic in certain areas, right? So likewise, you can, before you get home, your temperature, your thermostat will detect that you are 2 kilometers away from your home, and then it will adjust the room temperature. It will adjust the air conditioning of your place so that you will arrive in a very comfortable place, right? So, and if it is industry, the sensor network connected will alert you if a certain sensor is failing. So it can be a multi-million-dollar saver, right? So, but the thing is, when we are connecting everything to the internet, it has its own security risks and limitations. Like almost all the devices in the world has been hacked or has a potential to be hacked, right? It can range from your thermostat or to a nuclear power plant, right? So when it comes to a wider range of technologies, the risk is always imminent, right? So there are two main reasons why the Internet of Things is very vulnerable for threats in the internet. The first one being, since it is an upcoming technology, most of the people are focusing on the development of the ideas, the basic technology. So because of that, the security takes a back seat. And on the other hand, when we are connecting existing infrastructure, the infrastructure that is already there might have been there for like 20 or 25 years. They might have been there for a long time than the internet even existed. So when we are connecting these devices, the attention for the underlying security of these places would have been minimum. Right? So because of this, the IoT faces all these challenges when it comes to security risks. So why are we talking about the risk in IoT? Because when we talk about these everyday devices, these devices can contain very sensitive data about us. It can give a digital image of us, a portrait of us, the places we are visiting, the website that we are visiting, and then the things that we like, our interests, everything. So the hackers are not after these devices, but they are after the data, the very sensitive data that can be acquired from these devices. So it can range from if a hacker logs into your car security system, he can remotely manipulate everything, like the temperature. We are hearing about automated cars, self-driving cars. So if Internet of Things become a reality, and if somebody takes control of your vehicle from a remote place, then there's a huge problem. So there are several cases from the recent past where threats have been recorded. One example being the Nissan Leaf, the all-electric vehicle. There was an incident where a person from Australia controlled a vehicle in the Northern Europe. He was able to control the car ventilation, the air conditioning, the temperature, and all the electronic devices from Australia of a vehicle which was in Northern Europe. So this video has been released to the internet, and then the company Nissan was made aware of the vulnerability of the security system. So taking everything into account, since IoT is an upcoming technology, at the moment we are spending like 1% of the total budget dedicated for IoT. But the researchers are predicting by 2020, up to 20% of the annual security budgets will be concerned about the security of Internet of Things. So people will have to deal with different encryption methods, authentication methods, and provisioning, and also make sure that if there are any vulnerabilities in the existing systems, those things are properly communicated to the industry, to the company, or whatever the organization who are designing these systems. And also, on the other hand, different standards should be developed. Like for example, if you're talking about an automated vehicle, the standard of security in that particular system would be different from your home automation system. So these different kinds of fields should be given separate attention. So it's quite obvious that at the moment it is not a very mature technology, but in the near future, like in 5 years' time, it is going to be at a better place because we are constantly connecting all our devices and everything to the internet, and then we are willingly giving all the information which are our private information to the designers or the owners of those systems. So it's going to be a bumpy ride, but in the next 5 years, it is rest assured that the existing Internet of Things security will come up to a place which is very much safer than where it is right now. Thank you.
Are there any questions? Quickly, yeah. We'll reduce to one question. Any questions? Okay, shall we go to the next present? I think we have the Army. You're presenting? Yeah. Miss Thelma Perera from the Army on child abuse.
Thank you very much. And my topic is child abuse. No, thank you. It is important to know that internet has become a vital part of children's world, as most of the schools and other educational institutes encourage children to access internet for information. Like same with my son's school. So not only children but adults alike use internet for the purpose of learning. Other than learning, both children and adults use internet for the purpose of communication, interact socially with friends, innovate, play and be entertained. When children are given a chance to access internet, they become more keen and use it on regular basis and become curious to learn more of the internet. Therefore, parents and educators should always supervise and also familiarize with the advantages and the dangers and the adverse effects on the internet usage. When talking of child abuse in the internet, it could be pornography, child prostitution, and sale of children. Therefore, parents and authorities at the learning centers must educate children to use internet on constructive manner and they reap the benefit of using it, and to avoid risky online behaviors like scams, exposure to inappropriate images and contents, online bullying and harassments, viruses, excessive commercialism such as advertising and products-related websites. Certain measures could be taken to limit access to inappropriate sites and other contents by blocking certain sites with IP blocking, filtering, and URL blocking using a proxy. But those are not 100% successive methods. Children and young people cannot be made 100% safe by blocking of content. We as a society can improve safety of children and young people by empowering children, parents, guardians to identify and deal with the harmful contents on computers, the internet and mobile phones, and how to use technology both safely and responsibly, and by making available easy to use adjustable tools manage access. Also, parents, educators and peers could assist children by guiding them, have a close monitoring methods like keep the computers in a place where parents can monitor, familiarize the dangers of internet usage, educate the children of dangers on internet usage, upload or download sites under parent supervision, educate children not to chat with strangers, have limited access to sites, avoid overuse of social media like Facebook. However, the internet changes so rapidly and the technological measures are unlikely to be able to keep up. More effective and durable measures are those that build on the family, the community, education, and empowerment so that the children and growing people will make good choices and benefit from the generative power of the internet. Thank you very much.
Please.
I have one question. So then, can we introduce that the security or like the privacy thing into the school curriculums? You know that they have IT as a subject, maybe from grade 9 onwards. So can we introduce that aspect as well to educate them about social media and usage of mobile phones? Maybe like maybe 1 or 2 sessions, or maybe because right now they have talking about Visual Basic or maybe maybe in Open Office. That's it, right?
Yeah. Anyway.
Actually, as of now, there were a couple of meetings we had with Education Ministry as well as National Child Protection Authority, and we have developed some curriculum or internet safe use of internet. And also one thing that we have missed, I guess, the ethical use of internet. What are the things that you need to be aware of when you are using internet, how to be safe, and also how do you make sure that the others are safe as well. So those kind of content we have developed, but I think it might take a long time to include into the curriculum per se, because they have to go through different processes and approvals and that and this. But as of now, for about last 3-4 years, what we have been doing is going into different schools, teacher training colleges, and whenever the principals have their meetings, we go there and we educate them. And recently, about a month ago, we started distributing some posters that they can publish within the schools in case they have some issues like this, where to contact and how to contact, and what are the solutions that they can get. If they want to take any legal action, they can contact police or National Child Protection Authority. If they want to take any technical assistance or help, they can contact us, and that kind of a thing has been already done. And the curriculum, as you mentioned, it's already almost done, but they need to go through some approval processes, which might take, I don't know how long.
මට මේ සමාවෙන්න මේ අපේ සහකාර පොලිස් අධිකාරිතුමාත් ඉන්න හින්දා මේ මාතෘකාවටම අදාළව දැන් මේ වෙබ් අඩවි ඒ කියන්නේ ලිංගික දර්ශන ඇතුළත් වෙබ් අඩවි නරඹන්නට පොඩි ළමයි සහ පාසල් ළමයි යොමු වීම පිළිබඳ අවධානය යොමු වෙන හින්දා මේ මාතෘකාවේදී දැන් මම ඔබතුමාගෙන් දැනගන්න කැමතියි දැන් මේ ලිංගික වෙබ් අඩවි ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරලා නැරඹීම පිළිබඳව හෝ එම පින්තූර තමන්ගේ ජංගම දුරකථනයේ හෝ තමන්ගේ පුද්ගලික පරිගණකයක තබා ගැනීමේ අපරාධ නීතිය යටතේ අපරාධයක් බවට පත්වන්නේ කෙලෙසද කියන එක සහ එවැනි දෙයක් අවහිර කිරීම ඔවුන්ගේ මිනිස් අයිතිවාසිකමකට එරෙහිවීමක් නෙවෙයිද කියලා පුද්ගලිකව ඕනෑම ඡායාරූපයක් නමුත් අපරාධ පනත යටතේ එක්තරා අවස්ථාවක මා කියවුවා එහි තිබෙන්නේ කිසියම් කාන්තාවක කැමැත්තෙන් හෝ කැමැති කරවා ගැනීමෙන් හෝ මුදලින් හෝ වෙනත් බලපෑම් කොට පොළඹවා ගැනීමෙන් හෝ ඇයගේ ලිංගික ඡායාරූප හෝ වීඩියෝ ගත කොට එවැනි ඡායාරූප ළඟ තබා ගැනීම සහ අන් අයට විකිණීම අන් අයට ප්‍රදර්ශනය කිරීම අපරාධ විද්‍යාන පනත යටතේ අපරාධයක්සේ සැලකේ කියලා. එවැනි කියන වචනේ යෙදීමේදී පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ ඊට උඩින් විස්තර කර ඇති ආකාරය. එහෙම නැතුව වෙනත් රටක වීඩියෝවක් හෝ වෙනත් තැනක තියෙන වීඩියෝවක් තමන්ට අයිති නැති හෝ තමන් සම්බන්ධ නැති වීඩියෝවක් හෝ ලිංගික ඡායාරූපයක් ළඟ තබා ගැනීම ඒ පනත යටතට ඇතුළත් වෙන්නේ නැහැ නේද?
amendments ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා ඡායාරූප තියාගන්න එක වරදක් ඒක අපිට පුළුවන් ඒක අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීමක් කරන්න ඒක අර නිලධාරියා භාවිතා කරන විදිය අනුව වෙන්නේ දැන් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට දැන් පොලිසියකට කම්ප්ලේන් එකක් එනකොට අර පොලිසිය කම්ප්ලේන් කරන්න එන කෙනාගේත් කකුල් දෙක විලුණෝ ලියන කෙනාගේත් කකුල් දෙක විලුණෝ මේ ඉන්ටර්නෙට් එක ගැන කම්ප්ලේන් එකක් ආවා මොකද ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේක හැන්ඩල් කරගන්න දන්නේ නැහැ නමුත් අපි දැන් එඩියුකේට් කරගෙන යනවා අපි දැනට කරලා තියෙන කෝසස් මේ ෆස්ට් රෙස්පොන්ඩර් කෝස් කියලා කෝස් එකක් අපි කවුන්සිල් ඔෆ් යුරෝප් වල සපෝට් එකත් එක්ක ලංකාවට ගෙනහැලා ෆොරන් ටීම් එකක් කරා. එතකොට මේ අර පැමිණිල්ල ලිවීම එක තමයි මේක යන්නේ. නමුත් ඇමෙන්ඩ්මන්ට් අපිට පුළුවන් අපිට පීනල් කෝඩ් එකේ ඇමෙන්ඩ්මන්ට්ස් තියෙනවා 1995 අංක 22 අංක 16 කියලා. ඇමෙන්ඩ්මන්ට්ස් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඇමෙන්ඩ්මන්ට් යටතේ මේ ලින්ක් පින්තූර තියාගන්න බෑ ජංගම දුරකථන එක අපි මේ කෙනෙක්ගේ දැන් පොළඹවලා ගන්නවා කියන්නේ එතන ඉන්නේ එතන තියෙන්නේ ලිංගික හිංසාවක් කාට හරි ආ කියන්නේ අපි මේ ලිංගික හිංසාව යටතේ තමයි ඒ ඡායාරූප අශීල ඡායාරූප තියාගත්තොත් ඒකට දඬුවම් කරන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් අර ඔබතුමා කිව්ව විදිහට අර මේ පොළඹවා ගැනීමෙන් කරන එක ඒක වෙනම ඒක ලිංගික හිංසනය එක්ක බැඳිලා යන වැරදවල් තමයි මේ පැත්තේ තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඒකේ අර විඳිතේක් ඉන්නවා. මේ ස්ත්‍රියක් ඉන්නවා. නමුත් අර මේක නැරඹීම කියන එක අශ්ලීල ඡායාරූප වලින් ඒ අනිත් වෙන මේ අසභ්‍ය ඡායාරූප අනත යටතේ ඒක වරදක්.
අපරාධ නීතිය යටතේ අසභ්‍යයි ඔබතුමාලා අර්ථකථනය කරන්නේ කොහොම ඡායාරූපද?
අර්ථකථනය කරන්නේ එකක් තමයි මේ නිර්වත් ඡායාරූපත් අසභ්‍ය ගණයට වැටෙනවා. ලිංගික හැසිරෙනව විතරක් නෙමෙයි නිර්වත් ඡායාරූප කියන එකත් අසභ්‍ය ගණයට වැටෙනවා.
අධ්‍යාපන කටයුත්තකට එවැනි ඡායාරූපයක් තියාගත්තොත්
ඒකත් මං හිතන්නේ ලිංග ඒක තමයි මං කිව්ව අර පෑන පාවිච්චි කිරීම අනුව තමයි පොලිස් නිලධාරියා. මොකද මෙන්න මෙහෙම දෙයක් තියෙනවා. දැන් සමහරලාට දැන් අපි හිතමු දැන් Facebook එකක වරදක් කරනවා. දැන් මට ළඟදිම ආවා මේ ඉන්ටර්නැෂනල් ස්කූල් එකක ටීචර් කෙනෙකුට කරපු වැරදි වගේ. ටීචර් කෙනෙක්ගේ පින්තූර දාලා ටීචර්ට අපහාස කිරීමක් තිබුණා. එතකොට ඒක ඒ ළමයි කරලා තිබුණේ ඒක එකක්. තව එකක් මට කම්ප්ලේන් එකක් ආවා මේ තමන්ගේ පොඩි කාලේ ඉඳන් තමන්ට බත් කැව්ව යාළුවෙක්ගේ අම්මා කෙනෙකුට මෙයා මේ ගෑන් ළමෙක් වගේ account එකක් හරි ගස්සලා ඒ account එකෙන් chat කරලා අම්මත් එක්ක sex කරන්න කතා කරලා ඒ වගේ. ඒතකොට එතනදී අපි flexible වෙනවා. අපි මේ ළමයා මේක ලියන විදියට අපි flexible වෙනවා. මේ complaint එක ලියලා මේ ළමයා මේ පරිවාස භාරයට ගන්නවද? එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ කම්ප්ලේන් එක වෙන ක්‍රමයකට ලියලා මේ ළමයාට අවවාද කරලා මේ ළමයා එතනින් මුදා ගන්නවාද කියන එක. අර ලියන ක්‍රමය අනුව තමයි ඒක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ. අපිට අර පොලිස් කාර්යාලයේ පෑන මේ ගොරකා දඩමස් කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා මම හිතන්නේ ඔබතුමාලා අහලා ඇති කතාව. පොලිස් නිලධාරියා පෑනෙන් ඒක කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ගොරකා දඩමස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඒක තමයි මේ පෑන අනුව හසුරවන ක්‍රමය අනුව තමයි ප්‍රතිඵලය එන්නේ. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපිත් අර දෙමව්පියෝ විදියට වැඩිහිටියෝ විදියට අපි බලන්න ඕනේ මේ ළමයෙක් මේ වැරද්ද කරලා තිනම් ඒ ළමයාට අවවාදයක් කරලා මුදවා ගැනීමත්. මොකද අම්මලා තාත්තලා මං ගාව වෙලා අඬනවා. ළමයි මෙන්නදනුවත් කරන වැරදි වලට මේ සමාවෙන් ළමයාට සමාවෙ දෙන්න එක. නමුත් මං කම්ප්ලේන් එක ලියලා ළමයා ඇරෙස්ට් කරලා දැන් උසාවියට දැම්මොත් ඒ ළමයා මුළු ජීවිතේම ඉවරයි. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා අපි දෙපැත්තම බලලා වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් අපිට ඕන පැත්තකට හරවන්න පුළුවන්. නීතිය තියෙනවා. provisions තියෙනවා. We have enough provisions to do all the investigations. මම අර ඉස්සෙල්ලා කිව්වා perpetrate අපිට කරන මිනිහා හොයාගන්න බෑ කියලා අපි අත්තරින්නේ. අපි කොහෙන් හරි හොයනවා. මම එකක් හොයාගත්තා. Facebook එකේ වැරද්ද කරපු කෙනා මේ ඒ මිනිස්සයා Facebook එකේ වාහනයක් පිටිපස්සේ ඉඳන් ෆොටෝ එකක් දාලා තියුණා. මිනිහා හොයාගන්නම බෑ. මිනිහා මම මේ කිව්වර ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඊට පස්සේ ෆොටෝ ගන්න එක නැති වෙයිද දන්නේ නැහැ. වාහනයක් එක්ක ෆොටෝ එකක් දාලා දුන්නා. ඊට පස්සේ මම ට්‍රේස් කරා වාහනේ අයිතිකාරයා කවුද කියලා. එතනින් තමයි පුද්ගලයා හොයාගත්තේ. ඒ වගේ අපිට ට්‍රැඩිෂනල් මෙතඩ් තියෙනවා මේ ඉන්වෙස්ටිගේට් කරන්න. අපිට ඩිජිටල් ෆොරෙන්සික් මේ යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. අර පොලිස් නිලධාරියන්ගේ සහජ හැකියාව මත සමහර ක්‍රම තියෙනවා. ඉන්වෙස්ටිගේට් කරලා වැරදිකාරයා හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. මේ අර මිස්ටර් නිමල්ගේ ක්වෙස්චන් එකට අරකට මට කියන්න දෙන්නේ.
නෑ තාන්න මම ඔබතුමාම ආගිව කරනව නෙවෙයි. සමාන මේක විතරයි මම කියන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ නියුඩිටි කියන එක නිර්වත කියන එක කාන්තාවගේ අසභ්‍යයි ලේබල් කරනවා නම් ලංකාවේ අපරාධ නීතිය මම කියන්නේ ඡායාරූපය හෝ රූපය හෝ යොදාගෙන තිබෙන හැසිරීම් රටාවේ ආකාරය අනුව එක ගන්නවා මිසක් මම තරයේ පුද්ගලිකව විරුද්ධයි නියුඩිටි අසභ්‍යයි කියනවට.
ඔව් ඉතින් සීගිරියට නඩු දාන්න වෙනවා.
ඔව් ඒකයි අන්තිමට තරුණයෝ කසාය බඳින්නත් බය වෙයි. මොකද තමන්ගේ බිරිඳගේ නිර්වත දැකීම අසභ්‍ය ක්‍රියාවක් විදිහට අත්දැකීම.
මම හිතන්නේ මේක අපි දැන් තේපන් පස්සේ කතා කරමු. මම හිතන්නේ එක ක්වෙස්චන් එකකට මම ඉඩ දෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපි ක්ලෝස් කරමු කියන එකයි මම හිතන්නේ.
මම හිතන්නේ මේ ප්‍රශ්නෙට අදාළයි. අතරම ඊයේ උදේ මට කෝල් එකක් ආවා රජයේ ප්‍රධානම රජයේ ආයතනයක ඩිපියුටි ඩිරෙක්ටර්වරියක් මට උදේ කතා කළා. එයා අද ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකට ලැප්ටොප් එක IT යුනිට් එකෙන් අරන් ඇවිල්ලා එයා ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එක හදලා චෙක් කරන්න පෙන් එකට ගහලා ඉන්ටර්නෙට් කනෙක්ට් වෙච්ච ගමන් පොප් අප්ස් ආවලු ගොඩාක් කොහොමද කියලා. ඉතින් එයාට දන්නේ නැහැ කොහොමද මේවා වෙන්නේ. එයා කියනවා ගිහන් මම නම් මේවා කළේ නෑ. දැන් මං කිව්වා මෙහෙමයි ඕක හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. කවුද ඕක ඉස්සෙල්ලා පාවිච්චි කළේ? කවුරු හරි කෙනෙක් අනිවාර්යෙන් ওই සයිට්ස් වලට යන්න ඕනේ ඒකයි වෙන්නේ කියලා. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ මෙහෙමයි අපේ කොහෙවත් තැනක මම දැකලා නැහැ. උදාහරණයක් හැටියට මගේ ඉස්කෝලේ පොඩි කෙනා ගන්න මම 3ට විතර ගේට්ටුව ළඟ ඉන්නකොට මගේ ඉස්සරහා හිටපු ඔන්නම් 4 පන්ති හරි 5 පන්ති හතර ඇති පිරිමි ළමයි දෙන්නෙක් කතා වෙච්ච දෙබස දැක්කහම මම පුදුම හිතුණා. මම දන්නේ නැති ගොඩක් දේවල් IT දේවල් ඒගොල්ලෝ ඔය ෆොනෝ සයිට්ස් වලට ගිහිල්ලා කොහොමද ක්ලියර් කරන්නේ කෙලින්ම කිව්වා Firefox නම් මෙතනට යන්න මේකට යන්න මෙහෙම කියලා මේ විනාඩි දෙකෙන් ටටටට ගාලා අනිත් ළමයට කියලා ඉවරයි ස්කූල් වෑන් එකේ එන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා. ඉතින් මම දකිනවා දැනට අපේ සමාජයේ වෙච්ච නැති දෙයක් තමයි අපේ ටීචර්ස්ලයි අපේ දෙමව්පියෝ දැනුවත් කිරීමේ වැඩසටහනක් වෙලා නැහැ. හරි දෙයක් මම හිතන්නේ TechCERT SLCERT ඉන්නවා. නමුත්
ඒක තමයි මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කියන්න හැදුවේ ඇත්තටම ඒක අපි අයිඩෙන්ටිෆයි කරලා SLCERT එකයි අපි එකතු වෙලා ඇත්තටම ISC2 කියලා වෙනම ෆෝරම් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ ෆෝරම් එක එකතු වෙලා අපි ස්කූල් වල ඔය පේරන්ට්ස් ලට සෙෂන්ස් වගේ
ලොකු දෙයක්. මොකද හේතුව ඒක නෑ ගොඩක්
ඒක තමයි අයිඩෙන්ටිෆයි කරේ. මොකද ඇත්තටම ඔය ළමයි තමයි අර අපි සිංගල් කියන වගේ කන රින්ගන්න අපිත් ඒකම කරා. පොඩි කාලේ younger generation can do that. So what we have to do is like we have to inform the parents that there's like internet beyond Facebook. Some parents think like that internet is Facebook and YouTube. So we have to tell them that that is not internet. So how to control them. So we have done some sessions. So how to keep your child safe in internet. So we have done that.
We have done that one because actually
in some organizations also we have done that.
Yeah, I also know some parts. After that I went to the university, then I checked those details, whether those are correct or not. Yeah, exactly correct. Within a 2 minutes time, they already given all the details to their friend. So we have to do some program for that one. Then the one thing yes, morning session, they told that some IT sessions are closed. One of the reason of that, because of the IT teachers and principals are not taking the responsibility. That's why they have closed their center. They are getting new machines with 60 or 70, but they are keeping closed because they are getting other problems because of those maluse.
Right, okay. So I think we should close the session. Anyway, you have any, I think I'll give SLCERT the final remark. I think can you do it in a 1 minute would be...
Okay, regarding the kids being online safe, for all the ISPs, they have the content filtering option for blocking the pornographic and adult content website, which most of the ISPs are now started advertising. But if they can do it, the kids can use internet safe without going into the pornographic site. But as you mentioned, if it is for the educational purpose, I guess they have to go for some other alternative or the reliable sources rather than the adult content sites.
Anything on the TechCERT to add? Yeah.
Anything related to gossip sites. So there's an interesting case, like one of the Sri Lankan organization, actually that gossip site put some unnecessary content. So what has happened was when they contacted, like with the help of us, like they have contacted gossip site and tell them like this is not true. Then what they get the reply is, this is gossip site, this is not a news site. So gossip can be true, then sometimes it can be like something different, false. So then so if you want, you can give us a reply. So then that organization, what they have done is no point of contacting and giving reply to a gossip site, they have stopped. So this is what is happening. So do we have anything like...
And also I think it's the issue is with the gossip sites, so anyway, Gowri, do you have any sort of...
We also want to have some programs because we also find the parents are not aware of what their children are doing. So when they give them all the smartphones to their hand and the mother or the father doesn't know how to manipulate, how to use the phone, because the children know most of the features of the phone. Then they will lock the phone and the mother will not know what sites they have gone into. So we have also got cases like that where the children are smarter than the parents, and the parents, like through ignorance, they don't know what they are doing because they have given them, the child asks for a smartphone, and for the birthday they give the best phone in the, I think in the country. So ultimately, they also don't know what is. So what we also propose is for the parents. First, the parents have to be aware, because we can't go into each and every household and say this is how you have to do things. So the parents have to be aware, and they have the control over their kids. So they have to be aware of what their children are doing. If they don't know, then they will have to get some specialized assistance as to how to look into, what to look into, and to when their children are using their phones. So our focus is also really the parents, and we have told the operators, you all have to provide filtering mechanisms to the parents so that they can take up these packages. But unfortunately, because the parents are not so aware, educative about this, the use of giving filtered packages, the take-up is very, very, I think, minute. So that also has been a problem. So TRC, we are also thinking of having maybe a television campaign or something like that, where we focus on the children, the parents, to get into, they have to do something about the children when they go into internet, what is the parental control they should have over their children when they surf the web. Thank you.
Okay, just one question, and then we are wrapping up. Huh?
Hello, I'm Ziam. I'm sure the parents know that how they can filter it, but they don't want to do it because they want to go those sites. That's the reason why.
No, I think adult sites are, if the adult is knowing, that's a different matter. But a child gets access to all these adult sites. So they unknowingly, because even if you go to okay, if you say it's a gossip site, you have all nude photos on the site. So how can you allow a child to even to read that? So we don't have certain the standards, ethical standards, even on a news site. If you take all those things, the children go into all. Then the parent control, if you have some kind of software, then all those sites will be blocked and the child will not be able to go into those things.
Yeah, actually, what you say is correct, but I'm saying is why mostly parents, they used to go and they keep that URLs without cleaning, they'll keep it as it is. The children goes, then they found it out, they go it, and they keep the children and the computer idle in a separate room. Those are the things that mostly happen. That's one reason. I just want to get a small update from the police department, SLCERT and TechCERT. If you can expose some of your success stories through internet or media or anything, then the suicide cases and the people may aware of that, what's next step. If I got caught in some security issues, then they will come up. So if you can expose some of your success stories that you have done previously, or maybe police department, that might be helpful if I say.
Most of the cases we cannot reveal due to some restriction, because we have to keep them confidential. But what we have done is we have created some videos based on actual incident, and we have published it with the Facebook and YouTube, and even people are now sharing it. Even sometimes like they have removed TechCERT and other logos and mentioning that this is a true story. And actually it is not a true story, so we have created that. But like it is, we are not stopping that also, because it is good that people are sharing. People in the YouTube and Facebook, they are sharing, and we are continuing to do that. So we create some YouTube videos and we are sharing it.
Yeah, without exposing the actual name, and you maybe use the forged names and the forged incidents. Forged this. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think we will now wrap up because it had
පොඩි කාරණයක් ඇඩ් කරන්න මම මේ අන්තිම වයිඩ් අප් වෙන්න කලින් ඕනම දෙයක් වැරද්දක් නෙවෙයි කම්ප්ලේන් එකක් ආවොත් තමයි ඒක වැරද්දක්. ඒක තමයි අපිට ඔළුවේ තියාගන්න වෙන්නේ. වයිෆ් ගේ නියුඩ් ෆොටෝ එකක් මං ගාව තියාගැනීම වැරද්දක් නෙවෙයි. හැබැයි වයිෆ් කම්ප්ලේන් කරොත් හස්බන්ඩ් මගේ නියුඩ් ෆොටෝ එකක් තියන් ඒක මිස්යූස් කරනවා කියලා ඒක වැරද්දක්.
So good to know. And I think why don't you have further discussions out there, and then we can also have some presentations after.
Yeah, so please have a 15 minutes break and then come back soon.